Good afternoon. Welcome on in for another episode of From Day One. The courts are ready. And we start today with a Sov Cits rapper. Not kidding there. Who's in court believing he's above the law.
Okay, ladies and gents, so welcome back here to another episode of Hip Hop News here, and today we're going to be covering the case involving 42 Dugg, because right here he's trying to claim that he is a sovereign citizen and that, he's exempt from federal laws. That's right. So it says here that new details...
Mike, you want to tell us who this guy is that we're listening to?
Okay, so this is the guy. He's got a very small channel, but I'm sure it came across my feed because you can imagine my feed. I get inundated with sovereign citizen stuff. First of all, I like how this guy pronounces it sovereign. I don't know. I find it kind of charming. He's basically just reading an article about this guy, 42 Dugg. Looks like with the U. I'm going to shock everybody here when I tell you I'm not familiar with 42 Dugg's work.
No, really, Mike?
It's still interesting.
Have emerged from the recent arrest of 42 Dugg. Prosecutors claim the Michigan rapper filed court documents claiming he was a sovereign citizen and is exempt from federal laws. According to a report from Detroit News published on Friday, May 6, prosecutors had a hearing on Thursday, May 5, detailing the FBI investigation and explaining why they believe he was a flight risk. So I guess this means that if they convince the judge that the rapper is a flight risk, then I guess that means the rapper will likely remain in jail until his trial.
Correct.
Oh yeah, he's a flight risk, as you'll see when we go a little farther in the article here.
Assistant U.S. Attorney Barbara Lanning said in court that in April, 42 Dugg-born Dion Haynes filed documents in federal court in Georgia claiming he was exempt from federal laws as a sovereign citizen. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, sovereign citizens believe they are not under the jurisdiction of the federal government and consider themselves exempt from U.S. law. This comes after the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives had secured a warrant that allowed them to track the location of the 26-year-old rapper's cell phone and subsequently make an arrest on Wednesday after he flew to Willow Run Airport on a private jet from Memphis. Prosecutors said that Dugg was...
Okay, so... Yeah, this guy, I don't know about the merits of his rapping. Apparently he's good at whatever. He's good enough that people are writing an article about him being arrested. So somebody knows him. So kudos to him. But his legal thought process isn't great. First of all, he's gone sovereign citizen, and second of all, he doesn't realize that they can track you with your cell phone. These are just not good ideas.
Arrested with $25K in cash and $100K in jewelry. Lanning also claimed the private aircraft didn't have an assigned flight number and that 42 Dugg's government name was enlisted on the flight's passenger manifest. He's claimed more than $11 million worth of assets. He has access to a private plane with a pilot willing to fly an unnumbered flights where Mr. Haynes is not included on the flight's manifest. So I guess this means that, whenever you fly, even in a private jet, you have to register under a flight number. That's what I'm assuming. Lanning told old executive U.S. magistrate judge...
That would be correct. You do have to file with, I believe it's the FAA, your flight, your name, information, that kind of stuff. This boy doesn't want to. Bam, bad stuff.
David Grant on Thursday. That's not an accident. That's not a happenstance. The arrest stems from his failure to report to federal prison camp in West Virginia on April 12th after he was found guilty of illegal firearm possession and sentenced last November. He could reportedly face up to 5 years in prison for refusing to report.
All right, well, there you have it. He carries on with the article. I can't figure out what the source article is, but I put a link to his video in the description below. It's a tiny channel, and he's just going through it, but I find that interesting. As I've been doing this, I always think, well, that's the end of the sovereign citizen movement because it never works. So you think after 300-400 of these people will just say, okay, I'm not going to try it anymore. But this article is from about a month ago. And some rappers trying it, and my theory on this for most of these people is it's not a true belief, but just a desperate option of last resort. My guess is he's stone cold busted on the charges, and he just says that because it's an excuse to carry on with his life. It won't end well. And by the way, if anybody has a line on any court video involving this, prior or upcoming. I would love to cover more. I mean, all I have is this article so far, but I thought it was really interesting. It just came across my feed, so that's that.
Well, if you do come up with that, let us know, and we'll be more than happy to cover it with you, Mikey. Now, you promised me 2 Sov Cits. What's your second?
The next little clip we're going to do here, I took from Degeneration Nation. I edited it out, so I just have the clip, but I'm also putting a link to his video in the description below. It's a good video. I just wanted to give my commentary on it.
Of course, yes, I can. It's my First Amendment.
So you're not allowed to film it.
I am.
You have to have permission to film it first.
I do not.
All right. When DTI
I'm not contracted with you to follow any sort of rules or regulation. Since this is a civil case, who is the injured party, sir?
Mr. Miller,
Yeah. Who's the injured party?
the state of Hawaii is the injured party.
Okay, well then we're in the wrong court, because aren't you representing the state of Hawaii?
So
How can you be the judge of a claim brought against me by the state?
No, he's not representing the state of Hawaii. He is a judge. the prosecution, whoever that is, will be representing the people of the state of Hawaii.
State of Hawaii. That's a conflict of interest.
that's what I was sworn
No, it's not.
Well, that's not okay, because that's conflict of interest.
Constitution of the United States.
That's not okay.
Him being stupid
I
is
love
not
that.
okay.
This is Jack from Sovereign Citizen Patrol, and he asked me to ask you to hit like and subscribe. He'd like some belly scratches.
Yeah, I bet he would like some belly scratches, but I don't think he asked you. I don't think he's got the looks.
And that's what I said.
Well, this needs to go to federal court. If this is the state of Hawaii,
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's a civil infraction. It's properly before this judge. It has proper jurisdiction.
claiming that I have caused damages, then you can't hear because you work for the state of Hawaii.
This is a civil matter. It's not a criminal matter.
Then there must be an injured party. Who are they? Where are they? I'd like to speak to them.
When DTI 19068379, it's alleged that on April 15th, 2019, in the city and county of Honolulu, state of Hawaii, it did violate Hawaii by section 291C137 subsection A by using a mobile electronic device which is prohibited while operating a vehicle. You want to admit to this, deny this, or admit it and give me an explanation.
That does not apply to me. I heard you read it out earlier. I'm not.
Okay, what I get from that is he's driving a car while using a cell phone, which is
That's correct.
Illegal everywhere. With minor differences in contours, but it's a standard ticket.
Even a person. That doesn't even apply to me
Okay. Tell me why it doesn't apply to you.
because I'm not a person.
Why is it you're not a person?
I'm not an employee of a corporation. I'm not a trustee. I'm not a firm. I'm not contracted with the state of Hawaii. Just because I'm in this landmass doesn't make these laws apply to me. They're not even law.
It sure does. It sure does. That's the absolute definition of the jurisdiction there.
Correct.
They're statutes. Statutes are not law. This is fraud.
I'm trying to follow your argument.
Good luck, Your Honor.
So what type of entity?
I don't hold the office of person.
What type of entity are you? A person?
What type of entity are you? I don't hold the office of person. Okay.
I'm a man, of course.
He's a loser, of
You
course.
want to admit it, deny it, or admit it and give me an explanation.
Well, if this is a civil case, there must be an injured party. And I need to hear their claim against me. How else can I defend myself?
This is a civil infraction. That means that the state legislature has decided it's not a criminal matter. It is just a civil matter. There are laws that the state legislature has come up with. One of those is that you're not permitted to use a mobile electronic device while you're operating a vehicle. The officer has alleged that you were operating a vehicle while using a mobile electronic device. What I am trying to ascertain is whether you agree with that determination or disagree with that determination.
I don't understand.
What is it that you don't understand?
I don't understand anything.
You don't understand that he needs to have a brain cell, Your Honor.
Well, that we gather. Actually, I don't believe that either. I think he understands everything completely, but it's just the usual Sov Cits wordplay. The judge is doing a fantastic job in a nice, calm manner.
The court is going to enter a denial.
Objection.
Position.
So are you finding that I'm not guilty? Is that your judicial?
No, big dummy. He's not finding that you're not guilty. He's entering a not guilty plea for you because you won't respond to the
Because you are
question
an idiot.
in arraignment.
Decision? Because if it is, then I move to dismiss this case.
The court is finding judgment for the state based on the citation. There's a $250 fine, $40
Objection.
fee, $7 charges.
I do not enter a plea.
Instead of trial de novo.
How can I enter a plea?
You didn't enter a plea. The judge entered a plea on your behalf because you were non-responsive.
And found you guilty.
So, you almost got one right here.
If I haven't even seen the evidence or the claims.
No, I'll enter a trial de novo for you.
You can't, you're practicing law from the bench. You people are criminal, and I will never support terrorism.
Could you please call the next case?
You don't have the authority. Only I or my attorney can enter a plea.
Oh, he has the authority. He absolutely has the authority, and he just exercised it, and it's the reasonable and correct thing to do.
And he's already
You guys are
done.
guilty. You will be dealt with when the Most High sends the Messiah back. You're in big trouble.
On every senator who
Go ahead and look at it.
Get a copy. Will park for the bike in violation of revised ordinances of Rules 15-18.
I don't want this.
I get it. I will pay the fine because my van does agree on the fine. But I've got pictures of every day, 30 cars on both sides of the street.
So everything that I said and did was actually spot on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was spot on.
Spot on. You lost, but spot on.
You rambled nonsense. Not guilty plea was entered on your behalf, and now it's set for trial, which you will lose.
According to his requirements, his fiduciary duty, he wasn't supposed to proceed.
Fiduciary duty.
So I have the right to appeal, but ultimately the reason I even wanted to record this isn't because I think I'm going to win or anything, even though I probably have a good chance.
Good. And I'm glad you don't think you're going to win, because you're not.
Yeah,
of
you're
doing so
losing.
when I go forth with my appeal.
A lot.
Ultimately, what I wanted to show you people is that you can stand up, and you're supposed to. And in this world, the Most High Himself demands it. You're not supposed to comply with all of this. These people are actually terrorists.
The Most High Himself, I would imagine, is some sort of religious reference, which is absolutely irrelevant here. But apparently, he's got a straight line to the Creator, and he's gonna lay it down for us.
They're the ones who are making the fourth beast of Daniel's prophecy and the kingdom spoken about in the book of Revelation come true. There is pawns and peons, and so are you if you comply with what they want you to do. I'll never pay them $1. I'll never pay them a damn cent.
Then you'll be going to damn
I
jail.
wanted to mostly just exemplify that you can stand up to this corruption, and they're all liars, and they're not even rich pawns. The so-called Illuminati, the higher-up Freemasons and such, they're greatly rewarded for their service to Satan. These people, they make probably $100K a year and such, and they're willing to give up their soul. The Christian church will tell you, well, that's not a sin. You know, the Christian church doesn't even want you to look into things. You know, none of these Christian people are awoke. They don't.
He cites the book of Revelation and then has a problem with Christianity. Okay, this is interesting.
Don't even know the Messiah is a black man, let alone a masculine man, and that he's exclusive and strict. So they're actually part of the problem because Freemasons said.
How is this relevant? I mean, I get that you've got your own made-up religion. Fine. Everyone has the right to do that, but it's not relevant here.
Up every church on earth. Mormonism, Catholicism, especially Christianity, Seventh-day Adventists.
In this guy's
all of them
case,
are Freemasonic
moronism.
installations. And the narrative is the same as the mainstream. So they're quite happy when people go to their little churches and learn their bullshit, fake doctrines. The same system that is overtaking and destroying the whole earth, the same system here that I'm in this building of, and even lawfully speaking, this building belongs to me, or us, the people, not even them. They're even renting it from us. This is all fraud. And
Okay, so he knows more about law than any attorney or judge, and he knows more about religion than any religious person. Okay.
you know,
Well, there you have it. 2 more sovereign citizens.
2 more morons? You got it. Thank you very much, Mikey. We like morons, especially morons in court. Alrighty. Let's see if we have something else, as that did go a little on the low side for time. Ah, my squishy, my squishy, my squishy. And let's do it. Oh, squishy Gardner, squishy Gardner, squishy, squishy Gardner. What do you got for a squishy? Just a second, I'm trying to get it queued up as we continue to fight. Okay. I think we got today's
Number 6 on the docket, People vs. Bobby Cunningham, 22147 FH.
Blue down for the people.
Yes, Coach Cunningham here.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that Mr. Cunningham is representing himself, and as this is the start of a new proceeding, the people just ask that the defendant be advised of his rights to representation.
I'm advised of my rights to representation right now. I'm waiting for subpoena to come back. So I was asking the court for a adjournment until the 31st, or a little bit after the 31st of May, considering the subpoena has not came back, and nobody has not contacted me since I put the subpoena in. If y'all need a reference of basically when the subpoena was sent out, that would be I can send that to you. And then also, as far as the original witness is not on the witness list, the accuser, quote unquote. And then also, Your Honor, I was supposed to ask for a motion for the case in whole with the videotapes and the transcripts, which still has not been sent out to me. So I'm also waiting for that as well, Your Honor.
Mr. Cunningham, it's generally considered to be a very bad idea to represent yourself. I want to advise you that if you do choose to represent yourself, that you're held to the same standards as an attorney. And as you know, attorneys go to school for years to learn how to do what they do. I won't be able to help you to
practice law, man.
represent yourself or to follow the rules.
Practice law, you don't need to be a part of the Bar Association. I already looked that up. Unless Mr. Lou Dang can show me a license, and I'm not talking about a bar license as well, I would really appreciate that as well. But yes, I'd rather represent myself. Okay. If you want to show me a license, you can go on that. Actually, I'm talking about the practice law, man. I'm talking about the practice law. You don't have to have a license to practice law. I mean, This is not the first time
I
I've
know
been in
that,
front
sir.
of you.
I know that, sir. You said that you wanted to see a copy of Mr. Danner's license.
Okay, well, you just kind of. I mean, I'm not taking this as a threat or anything, but you just stated it because he went to law school or whatever. That basically, I still don't know my rights, man. So one of my
Mr.
rights I'm
Cunningham?
asking is basically, yes, ma'am.
I'm required by law to advise you that it's a bad idea for you to represent yourself. I'm not doing it to
So is it
threaten you or
can I
intimidate you or
question
scare
you?
you or anything else. I'm doing it because I'm required to.
Well, ma'am, I'm gonna ask this question then, ma'am. Is that advisement privately or commercially? Ma'am? Is that advisement privately or commercially? Ma'am? Is it advisement privately or commercially? Are you advising me commercially or privately? You just stated it, advising.
I'm advising you on the record.
Basically an attorney.
I'm advising you on the record.
So would that be privately? Would that be commercially, man?
It's neither. It's on the record.
How is it neither on the record when basically it's a
Your Honor, you're hurting his head. Honor, you're making his head hurt.
It's a question, man. It's a question, man. I'm just asking, how can you advise me to do anything unless you're a representative, unless you some type of representative, have some type of contract with the Cunningham party? Let me know, man. And that's other than that, you're arbitrating.
Mr. Cunningham, every time that you appear in front of me when you're representing yourself, I'm going to give you the same advice, which is that you would be better served by having an attorney. I have to do that.
The last three judges, ma'am.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Excuse me, loser. Shut up.
Give me a minute to talk. Every time you appear in front of me representing yourself, I'm going to advise you again that it's a bad idea. I'm going to advise you again that you'll be held to the same standard as an attorney. And I'm required to do that. If it becomes a problem for you that I advised you that you'd be better served by having an attorney, then we're not going to get along very well, sir. I'm doing what I am required to do by law, which is to advise you on the record that you would be better served by having an attorney. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do it every time that you appear.
To get along, first of all, to get along and be in basically correct court proceedings and facts would be two different things, man. So to get along,
I didn't ask you anything,
it sounds like a threat. Excuse me,
I did not ask you any
I just listened to what you had to say, man. I'm cutting you off. I just went through this with Ms. Perry, man. I was only stating my claim, man. I thought it was my turn to talk. If it's not my turn to talk, just let me know. I thought it was my turn to talk. If it's not, just let me know. But I thought it was my turn to talk. You just interrupted me.
What do you want to say to me, sir?
I just said what I was saying. I was trying to get a adjournment until May 31st until basically I get the information back from the subpoenas. And I'm actually basically Lou Dang, the attorney, to actually have the original witness, Calvin Fagnon, on his witness list, man. That's all I'm asking. Other than that, I'm not asking anything else.
Your Honor,
yes.
Two things. First, if Mr. Cunningham would like an adjournment of this matter, I have no objection to Mr. Cunningham receiving an adjournment of this matter whatsoever. Secondly, the people are under no obligation whatsoever unless this matter is set for trial to produce any witness unless there is an evidentiary hearing in which there is a motion that is filed for an evidentiary hearing requesting the admission of an individual party who will be considered a res gestae witness to this matter, as there has been no articulation as such, and as Magistrate Garwood is not a party to the case, and also since Officer Kavanaugh, I believe in this case, would only be the officer who swore out the information, or in this case, the complaint. In this case, that Mr. Cunningham, would you mind 1 second, sir? Would you mind 1 second?
He's trying to help you. Shut up.
So, Your Honor, if Mr. Cunningham wants a trial to be able to exercise the court's authority of subpoena, then he can request a trial date and then try to have that occur. Or he can file the proper motion, as I am in receipt of a motion that is not the proper motion to be filed, nor is the relief that he is seeking such relief that this court would have the authority to grant. So it is my understanding that even if he wanted the adjournment or whatever subpoenas to go out or anything of that nature, that would be a non-starter, as that is not what would occur, as none of this was properly done according to the court rules or case law. So, but if he does want a trial, or if he wants, he can request a trial, and then he would be able to subpoena witnesses to be there to testify at a trial, as the court will fully advise him of that right. Beyond that, Your Honor, I am not in receipt of any intelligible motion in which he has stated any kind of claim in which this court could grant any relief.
And we do mean
Okay,
any.
we'll turn to May 31.
Excuse me, ma'am. I wasn't done talking, ma'am. If you look at
Oh, you're done talking.
document, A1 basically sent to the Cunningham party. What was it? October 26, 2020. Basically, you look at A1 evidence. Evidence. The states on there, Ryan Kavanaugh. He's not an officer. It just states that original witness. Now, the original witness, basically, we haven't had an motion for, is basically for the head of the case. I can't think of his name. Matthews. That basically, quote unquote, they tried to amend in him to be the original witness, when basically the original witness was actually Ryan Kavanaugh, who basically is not a complainant officer, is not a officer. He was a regular civilian on the road. That basically they try to put in.
Anyone else listening thinking this is just more blah, 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 blah?
After the fact that basically I was not supposed to be on U of M territory, and then they searched my property, and then from there they tried to add in Mr. Matthews as the original witness, when basically he cannot be the original witness if he's in charge of the case. That's kind of like a contradiction. And then at the same point in time, he did not sign up under a penalty of perjury as well. So, I mean, I'm confused here, man, at this point in time. But
that would be the biggest understatement ever in court.
I would take the adjournment to May 30, a little bit after May 31st, to find out if I can get the rest of my subpoena to go further and more than that. So if we can go to the subpoena 31st, from there, my motion for a subpoena from there, I will gladly enlighten you about this case.
All right, were you asking for May 31st or another date?
I was actually just a little bit after May 31st would be much appealing over on my side, ma'am.
June 7, is that all right?
Yes, ma'am. That'd definitely be okay. So what time would that be, ma'am?
1:30.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're calling number 19 and 20, People vs. Don Lee.
Alrighty. With that, I think we'll bring Part 8 to a close. No reason to keep anybody, especially since we've had a few long versions. I think we can do it a little shorter today. Of course, we'll have our Sov Cits, Karens, frauditors, over in the evening, and Art Bell in the finals of the Coast to Coast AM episode that we have in the overnight. Till then, like, share, and subscribe. Be kind to one another. Get us to that goal of 50,000 views, 1,000 subscribers, so those nice red presents can go out. And of course, Google puts us on the algorithms. But until then, like, share, and subscribe. Be kind to one another, and release the Krakens. As we march along this afternoon and every afternoon here from day one. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you tonight.